Welcome to September 2022, where we're going to be exploring the theme of pleasure and peace. And so I've got some inquiry questions that we can dive into the month with. And then every week, I plan on every Wednesday, guiding a meditation, doing a little bit of chanting with you, and then exploring some aspect of this with you, some aspect of practicing um, in the name of this theme and making discoveries for ourselves about this theme. So I'm going to share my screen now and show you this inquiry practice. So the first whole page really is of this inquiry practice that you've got all month long, or really longer if you want to explore. The first big chunk of it, the main chunk of it, is exploring what is pleasure. And anyone who participated in last month, where our themes were peace and discomfort, you'll notice that there's some parallels between these, and you may want to or end up revisiting some of what we practiced last week, worked on last month. Sorry. Okay, what is pleasure? I would love for you to explore what it really means to you, what you really mean when you use that word, how you experience it for yourself, and to really explore this means the second bullet point here, to be actually curious about what you might be taking for granted in the way that you use this word or think about this concept. Be willing to become aware of that, and possibly challenge some of what you already believe about it, and so that perhaps by the time the month is over, you've formed a deeper or more nuanced or really true feeling definition of what pleasure is. And of course, the content that I offer should help that. How does your understanding of what pleasure is affect your life? Concepts do not just stay in our minds. They get sort of projected onto the world. We experience the world through them. They create sort of lenses and filters and walls in our lives, right? They can, our concept. So check that out. And then, always, did I put my disclaimer at the top of this? I should have. With our inquiry exercises, as always, these are just suggestions. Maybe your exploration takes you in a different direction. Follow that if it's interesting, right? Follow your instincts around that. But one direction we could wonder about is, how did I learn some of these preconditioned or long-standing or unconscious beliefs? Where did I learn about what pleasure is? And you could explore obviously deeper than that. Well, why do I think that the people who taught me that believed it, etc. All right. As always, when you're doing these inquiry exercises, I really recommend discussing it with others, or writing about it, or making some art about it, expressing it as you go, not just thinking about it, kind of putting it out there. Often that's when we have the real insights, is when we're not just bumping it around in the walls of our mind, but kind of put it on a page, put it out into the air between ourselves and a friend. Okay, so more ways to dive into what is pleasure is to really look at an experience that you have personally had with pleasure. I guess I put my disclaimer here. Anyway, yeah, look through all the questions below, notice your intuitive response as you look, and then spend the most time responding to the questions that feel resonant, relevant, that call to you, right? So here I'm just inviting you through the bullet points below to go deeper into what that experience of pleasure might have to teach you. And I'm not going to actually talk through that today, but as always, let me know if you have questions about anything that's there. But basically, yeah, they're just asking you all these questions to help you have insights based on an experience. Then, what is the relationship between pleasure and pain? And last month we talked about pain and peace. This month we're talking about pleasure and peace. Why might that be? What do they have in common? And how are they different? What is their relationship? Embodied exercise. So next time that you experience pleasure, try to be really present with it and be the witness to it. See if you can practice what we did in this guided meditation we did this morning. Practice being awareness and being acceptance, being those two when you have that experience. And then here's the last part of the inquiry, which is not nearly as long or robust. Peace. Just what is peace? Exploring the concept of peace. I'm sorry. What is peace? What is the relationship between peace and pleasure? Okay, so right here, are peace and pleasure, can they be the same thing? And for some of you, you may decide, yes, that's what I mean when I say pleasure. We'll explore all of that. What is the relationship between peace and pain? And again, you know what, I'll get you guys also a link. I'll put a link in here so that you can also see last month's inquiry. That might be helpful or interesting for you. And then you can explore what is an experience that you've had with peace, and basically here, what I'm suggesting here, do the same exercises as we did in what is pleasure, but considering peace instead of pleasure. So AKA, come back up here. You could do all of this, but with a story of peace or an experience of peace, if you want to go deeper or if that's really interesting for you. And then I do have a link here. Like I said, I'll also put a link to last month's inquiry questions. But right here, I have a link that's going to take you right to quotes from last month. This is going to take you to the Wisdom Wednesday program from last month, where, well, at the top there's a long video, but you don't have to watch that. What I'm pointing you to is these quotes. This over here, where I've got a Tao Te Ching quote, and then the rest of it is my teacher, Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, talking about discomfort and peace. And when he talks about discomfort, he's also talking about comfort. When he's talking about pain, he's talking about pleasure as well. So these are all great quotes to get started. I'm going to be sharing more throughout the month, but if you just wanted to dive right in, then that's a great option. Okay, so that is my introduction to our inquiry this month. And now I'm going to pause the video, stop the video. Goodbye to everyone who's watching the video. And I'm going to turn it over to anyone who is live to see if you have any questions or comments.